Oh, hi, I'm Rob. It's garage time. Oh, hey. Hi. It's your old pal Rob. Welcome to the garage. I assume that some of my viewership has been wondering two things. First of all, where have I been for the last 8 weeks? Okay, wait a minute. More like 12 or maybe 16 weeks. I don't know. As you can see, I am not in the garage. And one of the main reasons that there's been this long pause of me putting content up on Garage Time with Rob is because I needed a break. 2.5 years of doing it, I started to feel a little burned out. It was almost becoming kind of a job, and I'm just doing this for fun. You know, this is just a good time for me, and thank you to all of you who watch these videos, even short segments of them, and enjoy them somewhat. I really appreciate it. It's very gratifying for me that anybody watches any of this and thinks it's okay. I got to the favorite lap video, and then I was going to do the video of how I built the haul-ass Master Trailer GT, but I kind of lost interest in doing it about halfway through, and then began to wonder whether I was, oh no, another small YouTube channel is going to go down the toilet. That's not the case. I just needed to take some time to, first of all, relax. Second of all, modify the Vit Pillin so that it was an actual race bike. And then get my United States Classic Racing Association racing license. And then do another Cyclesmith track day where I crashed. Because that's always fun. Take 42. So the first thing I want to show you guys is... So the first thing I want to show you guys are some highlights from my trip up to Canaan Motor Club on August 9th and 10th, where I got my racing license with the USCRA and did a couple of other races on Saturday the 10th, and had a great time. The thing with racing at Canaan is there are no garages. The amenities are minimalist. And when you park, you can only park in the grass, you can't park on the asphalt, and you can't do any maintenance or any fueling on the asphalt. So what that means is if you're gonna paddock on the grass, you gotta at least have a canopy, and you've got to bring your own floor. And so what I did was I brought 2 pieces of plywood that I had laying around, but then the other thing I brought with me was a piece of fiberglass bathroom wall covering that has followed me around since like 2012. And as you can see in this picture, because it was raining and I didn't want the bike to get poured on all the way up to Canaan. It's like a 3-hour drive from Millbury. So what I did was I bungeed it to the front of the trailer to provide a rain shield and kind of a little fairing for the bike on the trip up. And it worked mint. It worked great. The whole front of the bike stayed dry. And then it became the path from the 2 pieces of plywood out to the asphalt so I could get the bike onto the track. So before I get too far along here, I got to thank Lou and Ellen Waddell, who raced together in the USCRA and lived 2 towns away from me. Lou saved me a paddock space next to his trailer, which I thought was really cool. So anyway, Lou and Ellen, thank you. Now I'm going to jump back to August 9th, where I'm in my little paddock area, and it's after the biggest part of the rainstorm at Canaan, with a little exposition of what went on the evening of August 9th. So here I am at Canaan Motor Club, which is, in fact, way the hell out in the boonies in Canaan, New Hampshire. And I absolutely took the wrong way. I took the long way because I thought I was smarter than Google Maps, and I'm not. But I got here in time to get poured on. I did get the bike into its space. As you can see, I'm underneath my canopy. I've got the canopy down at its lowest height so that the rain will not intrude. Anyway, the track school guy canceled the lesson tonight. There's only 3 of us. There's only 3 of us doing the race school, and it was pouring so hard when it was time to do the race school tonight. He said, "Oh no, we're just going to do it tomorrow," but they're going to do it at 6 a.m. So anyway, because the weather forecast for tomorrow is good, it's supposed to be bright and sunny and maybe 80. So he was like, "Oh yeah, you should definitely put your dry tires on." So here I am in my canopy, getting wet, or I've gotten wet anyway, putting on my dry tires. I've got the front on. I just got to torque some things up. Actually, what I got to do is I got to torque the caliper bolts, and then I got to safety wire everything. Then I can move on to the back wheel. Good time. Whose idea was this? Good times. As predicted, Saturday morning dawned sunny and nice, and I went to the track school with Bob Demetrius and Dave Evans, and then I went out for my first practice session with Dave Evans doing a follow the leader, and he was up close to pace, which meant I had to hustle to keep up, and it helped me really see where the line was supposed to be at close to pace. So partway through the session, I started smelling something funny. And of course, that made me a bit worried about the bike. And after each practice and after each race, you are required to go through a quick tech inspection where they go around the bike and look at things. And then I got this news.
You're burning through your
It's burning through the belly pan.
Yeah, you're burning through the belly pan. What is it?
All set? Yeah, burn the belly pan. The exhaust ramp is not doing its job, so it's melting the belly pan. Yeah, just take a look at it.
As you can hear by my voice, I'm pretty bummed out. Even though I had 2 layers of exhaust wrap on it, it was touching the belly pan, it was burning through the belly pan. And if I didn't fix that, I wouldn't be racing. Lou Waddell helped me out. He and I walked around the entire paddock trying to find somebody who had a tool to cut away the fiberglass. We weren't successful, but then I realized I could just take my big diagonal cutters and chew the thing away, so that's what I did. And here's the result. As you can see by the debris on my quote-unquote floor, I had to chew away a pretty fair piece of it, but I got done, and that fixed it. And because of having to make that repair, and the fact that the USCRA at Canaan does its grid calls over a specific FM radio band, and the radio in my car is absolute screaming garbage, I'm late to the grid, and here I am hurrying to get my gear on so I can make it to the grid late. Sorry guys, my bad. So I get down to the hot pit. We are green flagged out for the warm-up lap, and because I'm the only rookie there, I'm sent out with 3 more experienced riders. Number 713, Bob Bove, number 917, Lauren Miller, and number 712, Mackenzie Bove. All these races are from a standing start. We get the 3-minute board. I'm thinking, I am gonna hole shut these guys. The 2-minute board, here it comes, go. So I pop a giant wheelie, but to my credit, I stayed in it and we got around turn 1 without too much drama. The rookie race is only 4 laps. We get around lap 1, and then again, I don't apex turn 1 too early, but we get through turn 2, I lean it in a little deeper than I normally would, and skid the back tire. Made things a little anxious for Mackenzie on number 712. The 4 laps go by, and the checker comes out. But you can't tell, although you see my hand leave the left hand grip, what I'm doing is I'm waving to all the corner workers who are giving me the thumbs up. And then there goes Lauren, also giving me the thumbs up. So it was a very positive experience. I get back to the hot pit, go through the required post-race tech inspection, and am rewarded with some positive reinforcement. Yeah, I succeeded. I get back to my pit, and then, because I was late to the grid, the radio in my car is absolute screaming garbage. So, yes it is. After my successful rookie race, where I did not crash or knock anybody down, I went over to the registration tent and talked to Eve Stein, who is responsible for licensing. And she had my license ready. And so there it is, my United States Classic Racing Association race license. So my first actual race of the day didn't happen until after lunchtime. And thanks to Lou and Ellen cluing me into the race calls from their radio, I was not late to the grid this time. This first race that I was in had 4 classes in it. Formula 400, which was the class that I had entered, P4 Open, Heavyweight Superbike, and Modern 125 Grand Prix. So we get through the warm-up lap, we come to the grid, and somehow I'm gridded 3rd on the front row. Yeah, cool. Sounds pretty great. But anyway, the start goes off, and I just get smoked. There go 3 guys. We get into turn 1. Oh yeah! We get into turn 2. Is there one more guy? There he goes. Okay, so basically the entire field has passed me. But that's okay, because this gives me the whole track to myself, which lets me practice my line, even though that didn't seem to help much. That was turn 9, that was okay. Here comes turn 10. That's okay, I don't run too wide, but then this is a mistake that I made all day. I apex turn 1 way too early, get way outside, almost go off into the grass, and that wasn't even the worst of them. So we continue around for a while, and then the leaders start to come by. There goes the leader of Formula 400. There goes the second guy in Formula 400. There goes one of the 125 Grand Prix guys. Another 125 Grand Prix going through 10. That's me getting lapped by 4 riders. And then right here, wait for it. That was exciting. And then we come around and I get through 9 okay. Whoa, I'm a little wide on 10 and almost run off into the grass again. But it's the white flag lap. I apex turn 1 so early that I have to brake like a maniac and genuinely almost run off into the grass. There I get through 9. 10 actually goes pretty well. I clip the apex. And there's the checker, and the race is done. And there are the thumbs up from the corner workers, and around I go, waving to the corner workers and giving the, getting the thumbs up, and basically happy that I was only passed by 5 out of the 10 riders in the race. So yeah, I counted that a good result. And now, some positive reinforcement. Mackenzie Bove, number 712 RD400, comes over to offer some kind words about the rookie race.
You did good out there.
Thank you.
I saw you almost, I was right behind you.
Oh, yeah?
When you almost high-sided. Because I wanted to stay behind you, close enough where you heard me and whatever.
Yeah. What spot were you at?
I was on the RD, the two-stroke.
Oh, okay, yeah,
I passed you once and then I let you by.
Yeah.
Man, I was right behind you and I was like, all right, cool, this is good. And then all of a sudden I saw your bike go like this.
Oh, was that in the rookie race?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I did it over and I gave it a little gas.
Oh, I saw. I was fully prepared to sit up and lock it up because I was right there. And I was like, oh, and then you got back in it. I was like, okay, cool, we're good.
My name's Rob.
Matt, nice to meet you.
I was with you in the 400 race.
Oh, really?
I just wanted to ask them when I was close to you.
It wasn't especially startling.
You're saying, you're predictable.
Really? Oh, okay.
You did really well.
When you passed me, that was exciting. That was exciting. It was like, yeah, now that's a race pass. That's right.
You're a licensed motorcycle racer.
That's exactly right.
And you've done your race.
Yep.
You're not a non-racer anymore.
Nope. I kept the rubber down and the blood on the inside. So once again, Lou and Ellen clued me into first call for my next race, which included Formula Twins, P5 middleweight, Formula Singles Modern, which was the class I had entered, and Modern 250 GP. Heading out for the warm-up lap, just ahead of me is a rider on a Suzuki SV650, number 803, one of the entrants in the Formula Twins class. Earlier in the day, during the second practice, I had caught up with 803, and it turned out that we were very close in pace. So I'm just going to leave this here as a bit of foreshadowing. We come back up to the grid, and there is 803 right in front of me, although on the grid, he's 2 rows ahead up in the Formula Twins, and I'm back in row 3 with the 2 other riders that are in Formula Singles Modern. Right there ahead of me, diagonally, is Lou Waddell on number 25. 1, sideways, go! And because I don't want to wheelie again, I take my time. And there goes 2 of the 250 GPs, but I catch right up to 803. And there's 1 more Formula 250. He has to work a little bit of traffic. It's like, come on, get out of my way. I got to catch up with those guys. But then 803 and I get into our own little dice. So I'm just going to let this run and let you guys watch the entire race. I try to take 803 on the outside, but think better of it. of course, hit the rev limiter. Onto that little section of front straight. It's lap 3. Honestly, I'm having a blast back here. Chasing down this rider. I think I can see where I want to pass, but I'm still in track day passing mode where, you know, I don't want to be too aggressive. I don't want to try to stuff it in there on the inside. I'm holding back a little bit on passing on the outside because I have been trained over the last year to try to not knock people over. A little close. Now coming out of turn 3 and then through 4, this is one of the faster sections of the course. The fast guys are not backing off for this banked right-hander. They're just motoring on through full throttle. I'm not there yet. But then we take a look behind. Here comes one of the fast guys. And there he goes around the outside. Whoa! Another close one. There's my opportunity, and away I go. And then because I'm all by myself, of course, you know, I mangle turn 1. Whoa! Try not to drive off into the grass. Thank you. Okay, see ya. See you later, bye. Oh yeah, another 250 GP. Let's see, how am I gonna do on turn run now? Oh, not bad. At least I didn't almost run off into the grass that time. And there's still nobody catching me up. I'm kind of doing all right. let's see if I continue my good behavior in turn 1. Oh, it's the white flag lap. Nice. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. I think I finally have that figured out. Maybe. And wait for it. Scrape the belly pan. There goes Greg Russell on number 300. There's the checkered flag. Good times. Thumbs up and high fives from everybody. And right behind me there is Lou Waddell. Lou comes up my inside, gives me a big old thumbs up because I didn't crash, I guess. I don't know. Here we come to the post-race check inspection. And then...
Good job, buddy.
Yeah, getting the positivity. I'm feeling pretty good. You know, I have to give credit to the Vitpillin for making me look good, and so...
Good job. You're a great flight.
Yeah, it sure is. But this is the end of my day. I have committed to being home by a certain time. It's a 3-hour drive back to Millbury, so I pull it in head first. I've got the ramps already all set up for loading the bike onto the trailer. All right, so yeah, Canaan was a giant blast. I had a really good time. I wish I could have stayed longer, especially that Saturday, because there was another Formula 400 race that I could have run, and I didn't hang around for the awards ceremony because I have track day brain, and I didn't think I'd placed anywhere. But it turns out I got a first place for my rookie race, and I got a third place for the Formula Singles Modern race. Yeah, so that was cool. And I look forward to collecting more of this hardware. But anyway, I packed up for home. I drove home. And then the next day, on that Sunday, I had to do some more prep work to get this thing ready for Thompson on the 12th of August, because I had already signed up for a track day on that Monday the 12th, where I was gonna, for the very first time, ride Yellow Group, because after I got done with the Palmer track day on July 4th, 2 of the instructors had said to me that they thought I was good for Yellow Group. So I moved up. And so the 12th was going to be my first day. And what you can see here is me fixing up some crash damage. So let's take a look at that. So I'm headed out to the first Yellow Group session at 9:30 in the morning. Yellow Group goes out and does 2 laps of follow the leader. Not all the way up to pace, but it's a faster follow the leader than Red Group. comes Kerry down the line, offering us positivity and acknowledges
Licensed racer.
I have to admit I had a bit of track nerves because I knew I was going out with a group that had an increased pace from red group, even though I had been told that my pace was good for yellow group. Still, you can't help but be a little nervous. So we get around the 2 laps, and then the instructors peel off because they got to go get ready to lead red group. So we get around our first free lap, and even though that RD400 does me on the brakes at the end of turn 1, I'm not having a bad session, and I'm finding that I'm pretty comfortable at yellow group pace. And even though my little Vitpillen is still getting motored by the big bikes, I actually wind up doing somebody in top speed on the front straight. And what's that about? We get around 5, and then there's another bike ahead of me. And it seems like I've got a little bit of corner pace on him. And then on the outside around 6, I have to say this is one of my favorite places to pass. And then the 15 minutes is up. There's the checkered flag at turn 7. And we call it a session. Yeah, I smell the belly pan. Yeah, apparently the exhaust pipe is still a little close to the belly pan. It turns out I was really happy at yellow group pace. I mean, I was doing my usual thing of apexing too early, especially at turn 1, and then missing apexes and mangling my corner exits. But I was comfortable at the pace, and it felt really good. So ordinarily at this juncture, you would see video from the second session, the 10:30 a.m. session of yellow group. But I crashed. I don't know why my GoPros didn't catch the crash the same way they caught the September 25th, 2023 crash in the rain. Oh my God. Sorry, you guys, but this never gets old. And oopsie, bam! Hey, who's that going by? But they didn't. When I went to look at the cameras, there was nothing. There is some videography, there is some video post-crash, but the only footage that you'll see, that you're going to see of it right now, was captured by the instructor Todd, who graciously offered me the footage from his bike that he caught when he was behind another bike behind me. So yeah, I took off from pit lane, went around a whole lap, was feeling really good. Actually didn't early apex turn 1, and then this happened. There's me. Keep your eye on those white leathers. Let's look at that a little more closely. So here I've tucked the front tire, partly because I was offline and over in the part of the track that didn't have as much traction as the line has, and partly because I was leaned way over and beyond the capability of my stock Metzlers to hold onto the road, and also because I had too much front brake going on. So all of those three things had me tuck the front end, and I low-sided down, and here I'm just starting to skid across the track. And then we hit the verge. And now there's no curbing there at that part of the track. It's just asphalt to grass. But when the Vitpillen hit the grass, you can see it jumps up into the air, and I'm facing the bike, and I remember I saw the bike up in the air, and I was like, oh no, the bike's cartwheeling. It's gonna be mangled and destroyed. But then you can see here, the bike just slides across the grass, digging up, I swear, like 4 pounds of dirt that was stuck in all of this area. It was filled the belly pan, it was all over the chain, it was all up inside the bodywork up in here. Here I'm starting to tumble. I rolled over like 3 or 4 times, and then I stopped. So then 1 lap later, here I've picked the bike up and I'm just standing there directly in line where somebody else might crash like a giant idiot, until the tow truck guy whistled at me from over in pit lane. And then another lap later, here I am pushing the bike back to the garages in the most desultory fashion. Lots of swearing. I get back to pit lane, and that's 2 crashes with you guys. You know what I did? I wore the gloves that I crashed in last September. That was a mistake. I hate when that happens.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm all right.
I kind of saw everything.
I'm way better than I'll have to tell you, low siding off the bike is way better than high siding. And then I got back to the garages and got into my garage space, gave an overview of the bike, and really all I had done was broken off this foot peg again, which you can see I've repaired, and I bent the handlebar. And I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get it and I'll show it to you. Boom, abracadabra, here I am. Okay, so yeah, I bent the handlebar pretty catastrophically, and, oh, clank, and I broke off the foot peg, also pretty catastrophically, just like last September. So then I proceeded to spend a while bumming out about it, but with the instructors, Adam and Clayton and Kerry, and all coming in to check up on me, make sure I was okay, and then Adam had a funny thing to say, because he was a bit farther back, and he said he saw the bike on the ground, saw me laying on the ground. He goes, "Uh-oh, Robb's dead." But then he saw me sit right up, and he goes, "Oh, Robb's okay." So yeah, that was pretty good. And then a couple of the instructors were looking over the bike and saying, "Oh, you can get back out on track." And I walked around with one of the instructors, and it turns out one of the other instructors had a crate full of spare parts in the back of his pickup truck, had a handlebar end so that I could replace this. So I got that, and then Clayton, we had more than one bike there. One of them was a newer Kawasaki Ninja 250, and I was walking by and I just glanced down. I happened to glance down at the passenger foot peg, the left side passenger foot peg, and I was looking at it, and my calibrated eyeball said, "I think that'll fit." And I asked him if I could take it off, and he says, "Yeah, as long as you don't break it and put it back on when you're done." And so that's what I did. And then, who was it? Was it Clayton recommended that I join Red Group for the afternoon? Oh yeah, so there were only about half as many people in Red Group. So they said, well, when you go back out, why don't you go back out in Red Group? There's half as many people, you can take it a little more easy. And so I did. And I got back out on the track. But it so happened that, except for being really circumspect in turn 3, I was carrying on at Yellow Group pace. And I wound up passing almost everybody in the group. And right there you are a witness to one of the best lines I've ever taken through turn 1 at Thompson. But then I got about halfway through the session, and I don't know if you can see this mark right here. I stopped being able to upshift reliably because after crashing on this thing twice, two things had happened. First of all, the lever itself had bent and was in closer contact with the foot peg bracket. And there's a special socket head screw on the back that holds this thing into its pivot, and it had backed out. And so what was happening is I'd go to upshift, it would hit right here on the foot peg bracket and stop. So I'd accelerate, nothing, until I worked it past, or you can see the scratch there, until I worked it past the foot peg bracket and it would upshift. So that being the case, that was the end of my day. So I got two lapping sessions in. I had the full experience. Lapping session, crash, fix the bike, get back out there, find another problem, and end your day. So here I am. I'm doing all the work I got to do to get this thing ready for my next track day on the 29th of September. With any luck, you'll see this video before then. Maybe. Yeah. So I just want to say, Robb's Big Race Weekend was a success even with the crash because I did what I wanted to do, and my goal for that weekend was to get my USCRA racing license, which I did, and the swag is bonus. So, success. And here I am, my last track day of the year. Obviously, the video did not get posted before that happened. I have a whole lot of thank yous to go through for the people who made Robb's Big Race Weekend a total success. First, from the USCRA, I have to thank Ben Chovnick for getting me involved, Doug Donnellan for cluing me into what I needed to do to register, Bob Demetrius and Dave Evans for conducting an excellent race school, Mackenzie Bove, Bob Bove, and Lauren Miller for being great people to do my rookie race with. Thank you for letting me win. And then everybody in the F400, P4, and GP125 for taking off for me at the start and giving me 3 or 4 laps to have all by myself. I want to thank Georg Edelman for that really exciting close pass and coming by to check to make sure I thought it was okay. That's awesome. Thanks to Mackenzie Bowe for coming by and the kind words after the F400 race. In the F singles race, I want to thank the rider on number 803, whose name I can't recall, for giving me a very enjoyable dice. We were at the back of the field, but that was a whole lot of fun. And then Eve Stein for having my race license ready. And more thanks to everybody who helped me out, especially Lou and Ellen Waddell, who live 2 towns from me, saved me a paddock space. Lou for walking around with me when I needed to fix my belly pan. I want to thank everybody else who offered me friendly encouragement that weekend doing my first race and becoming a licensed motorcycle racer. Next, I have to thank everybody at Cyclesmith. Kerry, Paul, Clayton, Cassie, Todd, Nick, Josh, Adam, and Tim for being great people, being great instructors, putting on great events. I know I'm forgetting 1 or 2 other instructors. Oh yeah, Gino, who I'm going to ride behind today in Yellow Group. You guys are great. You took care of me after my second crash. And, you know, I look forward to many more years of doing this with USCRA and Cyclesmith. And I want to thank everybody for making Robb's big race weekend a total success. I got my race license. I crashed and got over it mostly. So thanks you guys. See you next season. And as I am so fond of saying, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you around the channel. I was going to say see you around the garage, but I'll see you around the channel.
One.
Now what?
2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, my daddy, he raced stock cars a long, long time ago at New England's fastest quarter mile, good old Western Road. He and Mom would rally around in their MGTD, but they bought a Porsche 356 to hear my mom dance. I was raised by gearheads, this apple fell not far from under Daddy's tillage, messing around with cars.
And then, secondly, when the hell are we going to get back to the Jag Special?